I love you, but I am going to miss you. You will be gone. 2, no one died. No one died. My bad. I'll take the heat, no problem. I got no problem with that. But this is a great freaking asset. We know this. We tested this. We know it works. We know this smells good. This is good. What's wrong with it? We put it in the wrong freaking place where behaviors don't adapt to what we wanted them to do. Shame on us. Find me another way to do it. We put it online. We grew the business by 1,247% a year. You have to take risk. You're marketing. You're a leader. That's what leaders do. And you will screw up. And you will make mistakes. Because that's what leaders do. You have to think big, but you have to act big. And promises, man, you gotta keep promises. Promises are the most important. I call these mutual conditions of satisfaction. This is the biggest part of the things I preach about is promises. Promises. Anyone here have kids? And you've made a pinky promise with your kids to take them somewhere like Disney World or something like that? Have you ever tried to back out of one of those promises? Never. Then why do we do it in business? In business, they're not forecasts, they're not something I'm going to get to, it's a promise. That's the way we should teach it, like a pinky promise. Mutual conditions of satisfaction. And it should work very similar. In fact, here's what I call it. I call it the Caitlin rule. The Caitlin rule. I hired a young gal who was working for us, and a couple weeks into it, she stops by my desk. We're about to leave and go and meet with the CEO of a company we're going to take public. Our company, one of the companies that I own, I bought and sold over 250 companies, 25 million in transaction, and now I sit on 14 boards and do a number of different companies. So, one of the companies that I own is called Tallgrass. They have offices in New York, LA, San Francisco, Sioux Falls, and now Seattle. Somebody says, why Sioux Falls? Here's why we say it, because we can. Tallgrass. Its slogan is, if you want to run with the big dogs, you got to learn to piss in the tall grass. That's our marketing slogan, okay? And so we only work with high-growth companies. So here we are, about to go and meet with the company over in the Great Bar Building in New York. Caitlin stops by my desk, open environment, says, Jeff, should we take color copies of the presentation in the meeting? And I turn and said, Caitlin, you've already been here for 2 weeks. I'm implementing a new rule. In fact, I'm naming it the Caitlin rule after you. Here's the deal. You only get 21 questions. 21 questions, that's all you get in the book. You can ask me any question you want, but you only get 21. That's it. You can ask me the meaning of life. You can ask me, where's the best limoncello? You can ask me, what's the best Italian restaurant in New York City? You can ask me, does this dress make me look fat? You can ask me any freaking question you want. Is that one of your 21 questions? And she said, I don't think so. It's a good career move. Because if I have to answer that question, what do I need you for? You are a big dog. That's why we hired you. That's all we have here at Tallgrass, big dogs. You're going to have my job someday. And somehow, I think you don't understand how big you are. My job in a company, in this company, is to hit a mark. Hit a mark on a stage, hit a mark in front of a client. Hit a mark in front of a television camera, and your job is to make sure I hit those marks properly, I'm educated, I'm ready, and everything else. I don't have to do anything except step on that mark and do my job. Let me ask you a question. You got time to make the color copies? She said, no. Never ask a question that you already know the answer to. See, we've got to hold people accountable, and it works very simply like this. This is how it should work. Many of you have been to the American Embassy, McDonald's, right? And it works like this. You pull up to the drive-up and you shout out your order. You pull up to the next window, you pay your money. You pull up to the next window expecting to get your food, but it doesn't always work that way, does it? No. Sometimes they come over to the window and said, I'm sorry, your food's not quite ready. If you pull up to this parking spot over here, we'll bring it out to you. Has that ever happened to you? Yes, it does. You know why? I'll tell you why. Because clowns lie. That's why. They're evil, sadistic little bastards, and they lie to you. And people who don't keep their promises are freaking clowns. And so when this happens to you, you have to fight back. You have to do what I do in my business every day. Or when I go to a McDonald's and I go through that scenario, and I'm sitting there in the window waiting for my food, and they come over and tell me it's not quite ready. They said, sir, would you mind pulling forward? I say, no. I'll wait right here and I'll roll my window up. Oh yeah, try it. Here's what happens. Pretty soon the 14-year-old assistant manager comes over and knocks on your window. and said, sir, if you don't pull forward, you're going to hold everybody up. I go, I don't mind, and I roll my window back up. Pretty soon, the 16-year-old major comes over and says, sir, I'm sorry, is there a problem? Yeah, there's a problem. Let's see, you made a promise with me, young man. A promise. I gave you my order. You took it. You didn't change it. You took it. You wrote it down. It was recorded in a computer on the screen, sent to the back into the kitchen to make my order. I then got to the window. You took my money. You even gave me change. You had a chance to renegotiate the order saying it's not going to be ready when I get there, but you didn't tell me that. I got to the window. My boat's not there. Now you're asking me to pull over here to park in purgatory. And you're not willing to change the promise. Now, if you want to, hey, we'll do this. I'll pull up over there if I see one of those minty shakes I like or one of those apple pies. That's renegotiation, but you didn't offer it. I'm staying where I'm at, and I roll my window back up. Now when I go to McDonald's, I shout out my order, I pay my money, I get to the next window, and my food is thrown through the window into the car. Mutual conditions of satisfaction. That's what we want to drive. Promises, things that we want to drive. Ask yourself as you're going through this, why are you in this game? Why are you in this game? By the way, that's a picture out of my pickup truck driving to my ranch in South Dakota. I live in between New York and South Dakota. It's gorgeous there. Can't wait to get back. What are your mutual conditions of satisfaction that you're driving for you? What are you doing? And I know that you're passionate about what you do. The people in Kodak were passionate. They would say to me, Jeff, make it like it used to be. Can't do that. I don't know about you. I don't look like I used to when I was 20. I look better. Look at this business on the outside, party on the inside, right? I love pheasants. I do. It's the state bird of South Dakota. I love pheasants. The Chinese ringneck pheasant, if you've ever seen, it's one of the most beautiful birds there is in the world. It's about 3 or 4 pounds. It's got a red head, a little white neck around it, hence the ringneck, and a long plumage of a tail feathers. And I love to watch the pheasants run around. And then I love to get a gun, hunt them down, and kill them. I love pheasants. I was so passionate about pheasants that I tried to corner the market on pheasants years ago. I realized there wasn't one. Different story. And I would build. I had 3,000 acres of pheasant farms, and I would make fields the size of football fields for them, and I would put telephone poles around them, and then I would hang up nets over them so that the pheasants could run free before I killed them. And one night, as we do in South Dakota, in the summertime, every day, a thunderstorm rolls across the prairie. That's why it's the breadbasket of the world, the rain that we get every day. Except one night it was a lot. We had like 3 or 5 inches in half an hour. And I had 10,000 pheasants that huddled up together in one of the pens, and they looked up into the sky, opened their little beaks, and they drowned. These are the stupidest fucking birds on the face of the earth, right? They call birds foul and pheasants are the primary reason. You know what it's like to have to create these little headstones for 10,000 pheasants? Oh, come on, that's funny. The window was really big at the Baptist.